around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your weekly forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies. It'll be a little breezy at times. Otherwise, we'll see a high around 33. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies continuing. We'll see a low around 19. Tomorrow, probably sunny skies do return. We'll see an afternoon high a little warmer, around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome to it on a Wednesday. I'm Austin Norman, joined by the Husker Hall of Famer, the 9-year NBA vet, the man in Dallas, Mr. Erick Strickland. Stricky, what's up? How you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's another great day to be here on the block. Glad to be here with you guys as well. We appreciate all of our continued sponsors. Sutter Heyman Jeweler, as always, who sponsors this video stream. And look, Austin, it's always good to share the platform with you, my friend. It is going to be a new year soon, and it is always good to share it with you, my guy.
Amen to that. It's been just about a year, actually, since I made it here to the ticket right after the new year. It'll be a year of this partnership. I've really appreciated it. It's been great getting to know you and do a radio show with you basically every day. Appreciate you hopping on remote while you're visiting family and taking some time away. Plenty to dive into today. Stricky on our show, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. They're back open today down at 29th and Pine Lake. We'll kind of jump around a little bit. We got some NFL stuff to get to, some NBA stuff to get to, some college football as well. You mentioned Sutter Heyman. They sponsor our text line as well. So if you listeners have any thoughts, you can drop them there, 402-464-5685, or on any of the video streams Stricky mentioned, leave a comment and we will see it. But let's dive right into the NFL here, Strick. Going up to Wisconsin, to Green Bay, Wisconsin specifically, where cornerback Jair Alexander received a 1-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. At first, I didn't think much of it. Maybe it was something that happened, off the field, maybe a locker room, something. 1 game for something like that didn't seem like a big deal. I mean, 2 Colts players last week got suspended 3 weeks for conduct detrimental to the team. We never found out what it was. I saw this suspension come across. I didn't think much of it. Well, the truth is much funnier. Jair Alexander suspended 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team for not being announced as a team captain, walking out to midfield as the team captain, calling the coin toss himself, and winning the coin toss. That is just a bizarre sequence of events from one of the premier defensive backs in the league. It just leads me to wonder, what is going on in Green Bay that would possess a guy to do this? Is he unhappy with his role? Is he unhappy with the way the season's going, even though his team's right there on the fringes of, playoff contention? Is this him acting out? Like, what goes into the decision to go rogue and make yourself a team captain?
Oh, dang, man. That's a tough one. I mean, it's tough to read and get into the mind space of this decision as a whole. It's something that you just kind of, do a old, what's his name? He used to work with, he did a lot of movies. I haven't seen him in a while, but he did a lot of movies. Sutter Heyman text line 402-464. Oh, Arsenio Hall. It's like Arsenio Hall, where it makes you some things that just make you say, and it's a wonder. We don't know if it's a staff decision, but we do know that the Green Bay organization as a whole really is a stickler for hierarchy, is a stickler for protocols and where you are in your position and so forth. And then doing that, I mean, obviously this organization is headed by and run by the people, so to speak, right? They have a headship that controls it, but those people that are in those stands have a vote. So I guess it's something that you just don't want to put into place. You just don't want any type of rebellious activity within your locker room, especially as you're making a play for a playoff position. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's surprising. You wouldn't think that something like this would happen, but especially a 1-game suspension for such, you think there's could be some repercussions. Some repercussions that can be done by way of fining or something like that. But you did do a good service for the team, and even though it wasn't the way that you would have liked it, it still accomplished the goal, and that was to win the toss. Now, where you go from here, I don't know. I'd love to find out and be a fly on the wall and hear what the heck is going on out there inside those rooms and the discussions that are taking place.
It makes me think there's more underneath the surface here, because I get it, being named a captain is kind of a big deal. But this was being named a game captain, not even a full season captain, not about the patch on the chest. So to me, that's worthy of, like you said, a fine, or maybe he doesn't play the first couple series. Like, dude, you're important to this team. You're one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and we're fighting for our playoff lives. We need you, to fall in line, be a team player. We need you out there on the field. Like, you're instrumental to our success. But to go straight to a 1-game suspension almost makes me think there's something more going on under the surface, either that, the team is fed up with his behavior, or he's fed up with something about the team and tried to make a statement.
I would have to agree with you. It's definitely something behind the scenes that's going on. Arguments, power plays, leverage plays, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely something that's going on where you have 2 people butting heads, and something's got to give. And, it could be like similar to what your boy James Harden does on the regular. Yeah. It could be, he wants out, and he's doing rebellious stuff to get that to happen, maybe to trigger a trade of sorts. So it's just hard to say with that situation. But like you said, he's one of the best out there at this time, and he may not be happy with the situation and the circumstances there in Green Bay. Maybe he wants to get to a warmer climate. Maybe he wants to go down south. I don't know.
You're right. Like, there's plenty of reasons that he would want out of Green Bay, but also this doesn't seem like the time to do it, right? You've played 15 games with this team and you're right there, on the doorstep of the playoffs. You have a pretty favorable closing schedule. You get 2 division games. Not that that really matters necessarily because the Lions have already locked the division up, but you have 2 rivals. You get a chance to beat Minnesota. You get a chance to beat Chicago. Both teams that if you're Jair Alexander, you would think you'd like to focus on because neither one of them has a particularly explosive passing game. Like he can make a difference for the Packers here. I mean, Mullins just threw 4 picks last week, right? They're there for the taking. So that would be a good spot, you would think, to pad some numbers to some degree, to make an impact on a playoff race. Maybe you make it, maybe you don't. But to have this all come down the pike, in week 16, I think, with 2 games to go, with the 17-game schedule, so 18-game season, it's just weird timing. And again, the Packers franchise, trick, I think of one as, low-key, under the radar, very stable. You don't have a lot of stuff like this. But you look back over the last few years, everything that's gone on with specifically Aaron Rodgers before he jumped down, Devontae Adams right after that, and now Jair Alexander. Maybe this is on the GM, right? Maybe it's on Brian Gutekunst for not handling these things the best and letting all of them come to a head like they have.
Yeah, it's definitely something going on. And to me, it looks, just on the outside looking in, again, we can only speculate because we just don't know what those conversations are that are happening behind the scenes, but we can only speculate. And I think it's some form of a power play. I there's nothing in me that feels that Jair Alexander wants to hurt the team or lose, or he has a losing mentality. There's nothing about his game that tells me that part of it. There's nothing about his game that tells me he's really hasn't been a subordinate cast member in any form or fashion. You don't really hear his name like that. You just hear him going about business, handling business on the field, and doing his work and going home at the end of the day. Whether he's happy or not, we just don't know because we don't see him outside of what he does on the field. So we're gonna see pretty soon, what the outcome is going to be for this, and we may not know until the postseason, but we'll see from there.
Packers fans, give us your thoughts. NFC North fans, right? If you're Lions, Vikings, or Bears fans, let us know as well. Is this something you're laughing at Green Bay about? If you're Vikings and Bears fans, does it help your chances with him being out, or at least the Vikings, since it's just a 1-game suspension? Let us know, 402-464-5685. There's a lot more to get into in the NFL. The big story of the day, Russell Wilson being benched. That's it for now. Jarrett Stidham will get the start. We will dive into Sean Payton's decision to bench Russell Wilson. What does it mean for that team in the rest of this year? What does it mean for the Broncos moving forward? What does it mean for Russell Wilson moving forward? Strick and I will dive into that as we continue hour 1 here of On the Block.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Become a member of the YMCA today and enjoy access to all 4 Lincoln locations. Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 2nd is spend $40, get a free 14-ounce ribeye, limit of 3. Also, get 15% off wine and spirits only at the North Lincoln location. Don't forget their 2 new locations, now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Coppell is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
This year, give the gift of delicious food, incredible service, and a lasting memory with the Pillar Restaurant Group gift card. When you purchase a $50 gift card, you receive a $5 bonus card, or purchase a $100 gift card to receive a $20 bonus card. These cards can be used at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, The Butchery, The Bakery, and all Lincoln Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs locations. Available for purchase at any of our concepts or online at prgnebraska.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your wake to forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies. It'll be a little breezy at times. Otherwise, we'll see a high around 33. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies continuing. We'll see a low around 19. Tomorrow, probably sunny skies do return. We'll see an afternoon high a little warmer, around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. This is On the Block with Austin Norman and Erick Strickland, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. We just talked about Jair Alexander's one-game suspension. It's a two-game benching for Russell Wilson. That's right. The Denver Broncos are benching their starting quarterback. A little bit of a gutsy move by Sean Payton, but at the end of the day, Strick, this isn't about his play. Russell Wilson hasn't exactly lit the world on fire. I think 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this year. Denver was on a bit of a winning streak to get their way back into the playoff picture in a very crowded AFC race that we'll get into tomorrow. But really, at the end of the day, Strick, it's business. Russell Wilson's making a lot of money. He's not, again, not playing terribly, but not playing up to what that money would dictate. And more importantly, there's a lot of guaranteed money on the books for Russell Wilson in the years to come. So what Denver is essentially doing is shutting him down. They don't want him to get injured over these last two games because in his contract, there's a clause that if he can't, pass a physical, or if he passes a physical on like March 1st, the money for next year becomes fully guaranteed. So Denver is paying a little bit up front to avoid having to pay a lot later in case Russell Wilson were able to get hurt over these last 2 games. Savvy business move by Denver, to potentially avoid anything cataclysmic in terms of the salary cap and what they'd have to pay Russell Wilson to rehab. But man, year 1 under Sean Payton for the Broncos has not gone as planned in really any way, shape, or form.
No, it hasn't, and they made strides. They looked like they were on their way to the return. Then, they had a big loss there. Wilson's 5-year, $42.6 million contract. It's a lot of paperwork out there, and the bonus was heavy too. So when you look at all of that it entails, what are you going to give up and what are you losing? And let's just say this also, I think there's bad quarterbacks out there. I think he doesn't have the same leverage as he probably would have had in the last year or two, being that there's a lot of quarterback needs out there that maybe somebody would take a chance. And because sometimes it's just a change of location. The location change for Russell Wilson didn't work to his benefit in this specific instance, but it's still a possibility that the right organization, the right offensive coordinator, the right team, the right system, because we knew that the system worked to the benefit of Russell Wilson there in Seattle. So it's just kind of maybe finding something with a similar makeup as that could have helped him. But at the same time, that's not the case. And now that this is a huge quarterback draft that's coming up in this next cycle, it's going to be a hard sell for anybody to want to take on Russell Wilson's contract and to try as a hope or a possibility to get something out of him. And so the trade market for him is probably not going to be good. At this point, the only option you're probably going to be looking for is a waiver, and maybe somebody picks him up on waiver at a cheaper number once he clears. But this is a tough situation for Denver. At this point, this looks like they're just trying to maybe look at a cut and run type of option where they're looking at other opportunities, being that this is a big draft. And if, they kind of fall in the middle of the pack, they may land somebody that they feel one or two quarterbacks, maybe someone early, someone late that they could, take a shot on, or maybe find someone early and get a veteran out there, just kind of a more teachable, coachable type of veteran to throw in the mix, just to kind of help that younger quarterback along or to be a piece or a bridge gap until they can get him up to speed, coming in. So they've got some options, but it's not going to be a light price tag on it once it comes down to the pipe.
There's a lot in there. We'll start with the quarterback draft. Denver was in position to potentially draft a quarterback. They had at one point the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Things were really bad, including that blowout loss to Miami, where they give up almost 70 points. 70 points, I think it was. There's a lot of points. Denver was in position to make that tough call at that point. Like, hey, we gave it, a third of a season or so. It's not working out. Russell Wilson, we know we signed you to this extension, but given the way you're playing, we gave Sean Payton a chance. It's not going to work. We're going to cut bait now, continue the tank, and get our quarterback of the future. Doesn't happen. Instead, the defense comes to life a little bit. They force a lot of turnovers over their 5-game win streak, which isn't really sustainable outside of the state of Iowa, apparently. And now they've lost a couple games again. So they won enough to take themselves out of consideration for drafting one of those quarterbacks. They gave up so much to get Russell Wilson, it'd be almost impossible for them to trade up into that conversation. So now what you're left with is Russell Wilson essentially as the Jimbo Fisher of the NFL. With as much money as left, it's a tough call to walk away. He hasn't been a train wreck, but the team result isn't there based on the money that you're paying him. So Denver's, it seems like they're heading towards swallowing that pill now instead of later, which leads me to this, Strick. Who wants Russell Wilson at this price tag? Like, he would be the most expensive bridge option probably in NFL history because his extension hasn't even kicked in yet, which is the crazy part. He still had 2 years on his contract from Seattle, and then the 5-year extension kicks in. So some team is signing up to take on all 5 years and what'd you say, $242.5 million for a bridge guy? Because very clearly Russell Wilson's not an answer for a franchise anymore.
Yeah. And so they've got some hard decisions to make. I mean, that's a lot of money to eat. And you just, like this is the difference between football and basketball, right? It's pretty much what you see on the contract is what it is and what it's gonna be, right? There's not a lot of things that you can finagle and kind of work around. I mean, there's some tricky things, obviously with Sohei Ohtani, that contract situation. There's ways to kind of wiggle and throw some things in there and make it feasible for the team and the organization. But with Russell's situation, you look at, like you said, the small print. You look at the small print, and the small print is saying, okay, injury. Okay, well, shoot, we got to preserve that. Now they're looking for ways to keep money and not necessarily give it up. So, like you said, his bonus and stuff, he has still 2 years left. He's another 5. What that contract looks like with the 5, how much of that cuts, how much of that goes to the cap against you that you now have to be accounted for, which is not going to help you because you can't go out and get free agents and stuff like that with a high price tag on your cap. So it's tough, man. It's going to be hard to see. And look, I'm wondering how, Elway and those guys are going to, work that situation out, because it ain't easy. It ain't an easy solution to this one.
It's really not. You mentioned that cap hit. So this year the cap hit was $22 million for Russell Wilson. Next year, $35.4 million. After that, $55.4, $58.4, $53.4, $54.4. That is
so where's that cut? Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. That fine print that we would have to like literally dig into to try to figure it out. What is the time frame to where they can cut to where it's not going to affect them to the tune of 50 million or the likes of that, right? Because there's going to be there. Go ahead.
I say there is a potential out in 2026, which would make it a 4-year, $161 million deal with a $31.2 million dead cap hit. Still hard to stomach, but goes down slightly easier than 55.
Yeah. But look, that's 2 years from now. So what are you going to do with him sitting in 2 years? No, and I'm telling you, I don't think there's a trade spot for him. Do you send him back? I mean, right now they're happy in Seattle with how things are going with Geno, and there's a lot of money still out there because you don't have to pay Russell Wilson that kind of money. So they're still able to go out and get free agents and maybe sign some of their in-home talent that they wouldn't have to worry about, or they would have to worry about if Russell Wilson was on the number for them.
That's just the thing. Where could he land? Someone's going to take him on, right? I mean, his contract is kind of Russell Wilson-ish or Russell Westbrook-ish, right? Making a lot of money for diminishing production. Not the biggest guy. Best days are behind him. We've seen Russell Westbrook, find a role with the Clippers coming off the bench as they're on a roll. I still think there's enough adequate football in Russell Wilson that if he'd be willing to restructure a deal, some team would take a flyer on him. Do you look to like Minnesota, maybe with, all the quarterbacks they've shuffled through? Do you look to Washington not being sold on Sam Howell necessarily? Is there anyone else out there that you think, Russell Wilson could be that bridge guy for a year or two, or is he just not going to have a seat at the table because of that contract?
I lean more to not having a seat at the table, but I also will say that a possible restructure could help in this situation. Where you spoke of, you got to look at their cap space situation, right? So you gotta really look at that, because taking that in, what it's going to hinder as far as your prospects, your goals, and where you're trying to go. Like you look out there in Washington, for example, is he a Bieniemy fit?
Probably not. I don't love it.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
That those are the things too. Who's going to be coaching him? Who's going to be the OC? I think those are things that you want to consider. Style of play. What do you say that Russell's style of play is, Austin? I mean, is he more of a West Coast style guy? Is he, more of a traditional, traditional pocket type? He's not really, but he can, but he's not. So you've got to look at who's going to be coaching him as well. But just looking around the landscape, give me your thoughts. Sutter Heyman touchline 402-464-5685. If you were the GM, Let's just be real about it. Let's just be open and just throw it out there. Cliff Castro, what's up with you, man? Thanks for shouting out on the YouTube stream, by the way. Listen, if you were the GM of any organization, and what team, or if you were the agent, what team would you feel would be best suited for the style of Russell Wilson? Because obviously we know he needs a change of scenery. We were hoping that maybe the coaching change and things would come. He's got talent there, so it's not even a fact of not having talent. I mean, listen, I'm sure Bryce down there in Carolina would love some of the weapons that Russell Wilson had. I mean, let's be honest about it, right? So where could he go? That I want to know. I want to know from you guys, because I have no clue. I mean, I'm maybe thinking, is Tampa Bay upset with what they got going on? I mean, maybe, maybe that's a look. Is New Orleans? But guess what? You're talking about smaller market teams, probably not big budgets. Is it New York? New York's probably got some money to do some things. Is it something for him to look there, or are they going to look to go younger because they can do more manageable things with a younger quarterback as opposed to a veteran quarterback, like you said, is towards the tail end of his days?
Tampa intrigues me. You could talk me into maybe Atlanta potentially. That's a little bit bigger of a market.
There's a little bigger market there.
I don't know if Russ fits personality-wise in Atlanta nearly as well. I also don't know if they feel like they're ready to take on that type of player. I don't know if the infrastructure is fully in place. If the Cardinals move on from Kyler Murray, I think they need a bridge guy, so maybe Russell Wilson could fit there, but I think he's too expensive because I think they would go back to tearing it down. And then from there...
Yeah, because you still got to deal with Kyler Murray's situation.
Right. I don't think the
Who
Bears
got a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think the Bears are going to take him as a bridge guy. They'll just stick with Fields and or draft someone at the top of this year's draft. I think Patriots. I don't think that he would want to go be the first guy in a post-Belichick world necessarily. I just don't think there's a great fit out there for Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is the Chargers somebody to look at? You know what I mean? I think the Chargers still has some weapons, but they feel like Herbert might be their guy. So I mean, it's hard to say. But listen, I'm not throwing it totally under the bus, Austin, because here's why. Goff went up there to freaking Detroit,
right?
And look, people thought Jared Goff was done. Like, he thought he was going into the mud, with the way things went and transcend down in LA. It can happen. It can change for the better. I think it's just sometimes the right situation, the right system. Maybe they believe in you. Sometimes the market change. Let's see. LA market is way, way more different than up in Detroit. You can be focused up in Detroit. I mean, look, no shout out, no shade to Detroit. I mean, I'm just being honest. I've played up there many a time. To me, ain't nothing going on up there. It's stay focused. I'd probably be in the doggone in the film room all freaking day because there ain't nothing else to do. So I don't know.
The other funny part about the situation to me, Strick, is that Jarrett Stidham is the guy that's going to be replacing Russell Wilson there in Denver. Well, guess what? Last year, Jarrett Stidham started at the end of the year when the Raiders moved Derek Carr to the bench. So 2 years in a row, two different teams, same division, though. These are slightly different situations. I think there's more acrimony, more dislike between Derek Carr and the Raiders organization than Russell Wilson and the Broncos. But hey, good for Jarrett Stidham, right? That's a guy that, hasn't been flashy, but maybe he's the next, Chase Daniel, the next Chad Henne, where you'll hear his name for, another decade or so, bouncing around the league on the fringes, being that kind of mop-up injury replacement, or, hey, we want to bench our starter for injury reasons type of guy. It's not maybe the best thing that Jarrett Stidham wanted to be known for in his NFL career, but hey, maybe he's carved out a niche as the injury prevention replacement.
Yeah, that's a new term there. We need to coin that phrase there, Austin. But look, shout out to Stidham. Go get it. Go get it. You get an opportunity, man. Don't waste those opportunities when they're presented before you. This is why I think, man, to be honest, Austin, is preparation is so key to your step up or step in or fill in or whatever and become a mainstay name, right? You saw what happened to Brock, and now Brock is starting to feel the heat a little bit. Now people are starting to, but that's part of the marketplace. That's where you are. San Francisco is part of that brand, that high-end brand. And you're going to get the love and hate relationship that continues on. I mean, but if you're a guy in Denver, go make a name for yourself. Go put your name in the forefront of GM's minds as to being that guy, that Chase Daniels, that backup guy who you can rely on whenever anything may just be that. And then you never know, a Geno Smith situation may pop up for you. And as long as you're preparing for the opportunity that presents itself, then you might have a shot at it, bro.
Well, let's end the segment with this from Big Slim listening down in Florida. Is Wilson really an upgrade over Baker? Even if he's not, I don't think they have the cap room in Tampa. Here's the thing. I don't know if Baker sticks around, and B, I don't know if Baker's is good next year. The thing about Baker Mayfield is when his back is against the wall, he has doubters, he has haters, he's fueled, he's motivated, he plays well. When Baker goes in as the guy, things typically haven't gone well outside of like that 1 year with the Browns where he had that separated shoulder. But even then, he can use the doubt and the motivation of people saying, oh, he's not banged up, he's just not playing that well while playing through an injury. So, yeah, I think it's much more likely that Baker's in Tampa next year than Russell Wilson. I just don't think Baker Mayfield plays as well next year. I think playing well this year, going into next year as the guy in Tampa, if that's how it works out, I think Baker loses a little bit of an edge when he's the guy, Strick.
That's an interesting point. At this point, you've seen a track record of that, right? So it's not you're just not throwing it up against the wall and hoping it sticks. You're actually looking at a track record and a trend of his makeup. So I don't know. It's I want to watch the Baker Mayfield in playoff contention when it really gets tight. Those are the times where things at sometimes can be revealed about who you are and what your makeup is.
We got the happy hour crew looking over my shoulder, watching the bowl game on the TV in here. That's who I'm looking at over my left shoulder. We'll talk about some college football bowl games coming up here about half an hour or so. But some NBA news to get to here in the next couple segments. Aaron Gordon out with an injury for the defending champion Nuggets. What does that mean for them? How'd the injury happen as well? Another kind of silly shenanigan-based story. We'll get into that. And then talk some more Detroit Pistons. Who's to blame? What's the way out for them? That'll lead off hour 2. But we'll wrap up hour 1 of On the Block here in just a sec.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C2999464.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Happy holidays from Hamilton. As we celebrate the joy of this holiday season, we are grateful for our loyal customers, the communities we serve, and our outstanding employees. Hamilton takes great pride in connecting and protecting your business with the latest in telecommunications and technology solutions. From our Hamilton family to yours, we wish you a merry and bright holiday season and prosperous new year. Happy holidays from all of us here at Hamilton.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block, we'll move into hour number two here momentarily. A couple NBA segments here with some interesting stuff going on. First, we start in the Western Conference. The defending champion Denver Nuggets now up to second in the West at 22-10 after their Christmas Day win over the Warriors. But Strick, some bad news out of Denver's camp. After that game, forward Aaron Gordon, a big piece they acquired from the Magic to help them get their first championship in franchise history. I don't know if he went home or was at a house with a dog. And Aaron Gordon is out indefinitely now with serious bites to his face and his shooting hand. Like, that's like a baseball injury. You hear about pitchers like sneezing and blowing their back out or tripping down the steps or something. But my gosh, you're glad Aaron Gordon is, okay long-term, because dogs can be scary, as big and, vicious as they can be. I have never heard of a player being out indefinitely, though, for dog bites.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And here's the crazy thing about that, right? He's an important piece to whatever Denver does, is because of his versatility, his ability to guard multiple players and positions. He's so invaluable. I mean, he's averaging 14 points a game, by almost 7 rebounds, and just his ability to do so many different things on the court makes them pretty difficult at times. We saw the effectiveness he had in the NBA Finals, and as to why Denver was able to do what they did. I mean, freaking Los Angeles had no answer for him, and was able to put them in a sweep. So we're going to see how this is going to affect him. I mean, you've got to be happy that Jamal Murray is in full swing and you got Jokic. But now when situations like this happen, who's going to step up? Who's next? Like, this is where you get to test and find out. And you remember that happened to them last year, where guys like Brown and Braun, found a place in a position to have some success on that team, because you're able to gain trust. There's no better time for this Denver Nuggets team to figure it out and to find out, or to see if there's anybody in their G League system or whatever, to see who's a guy that they can rely on. And this is how you gain trust if you're a player. And so they're Malone and that crew is gonna figure out who's that guy for them that can help them when it's time. Who's been working, who's been preparing. As we talk about, opportunity presents itself. There's nobody on that bench could have expected that this would happen to one of their major players on their team. And if you're not staying on your conditioning, if you're not staying up and on top of your game, then this opportunity is going to be missed. So you're just hoping that's not the case.
It's 6'8", 235, playing the 4 most nights for Denver. There's not really anyone that's a one-to-one replacement for his blend of skills. I think there are options, though. You could look at someone maybe like a Peyton Watson or a Hunter Tyson if you want to lean into offense, or you go the other way. Maybe you have like a Zeke Naji and go like a full-on like brute front court. Maybe play Jokic at the 4 and Najee at the 5 with a little inside out there. Maybe it's a Braxton Key from Virginia, a guy who's been had a pretty solid college career. But you don't think this will sink the Nuggets necessarily, but it definitely never sounds good. You're assuming it's probably a few weeks to recover from getting stitches on your shooting hand. I mean, the face you can put a mask over, but trying to tape up that shooting hand and still play, that seems like that would be kind of a pain in the butt to get over.
Well, like I said, there's no greater time for it to happen, right? This is before the All-Star break. This is where you would, want situations like this to happen. These are where determinations as far as your roster are going to be worked out as well. Because when I was with Dallas, it's a business decision. It comes down to players that are on roster. Maybe guys don't have a full season guarantee. They may say, okay, he's a worthy guy to keep with us, or it's a business decision. We're going to release him and move on. This is that time. So they're going to be able to really have an opportunity to assess and look at those type of situations and options on their team by throwing guys into the mix and giving them a shot.
It's not injuries keeping the Pistons down. It's a lot of other stuff. What has gone into the Pistons' 27-game losing streak? Can they make history and beat the process 76ers record of 28? We'll talk Cade Cunningham. We'll talk Monty Williams, the construction of that team. And even, Strick, you mentioned some of your experiences in the crossover, being a winner your whole life and then experiencing that NBA adversity. What was that like for you? Who was there to help pull you through it? Is there someone like that available for Detroit to go get or to lean on? We'll talk about that and then some college football in hour number 2 of On the Block. He's Erick Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. This is On the Block, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, here and only here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bärschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bärschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Old School with DP and J.
We got a special guest in. We got Jason Peters.
All that's being asked of you is everything. Like, you have to give everything that you have to that program, to that team. If you want to be a champion, that's the only way, right? I mean, you have to commit to every lifting session, every strength and conditioning session, during the summer, during the spring, whatever it may be. It just has to be 100% commitment by everybody.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Let's dive right into our number 2, continuing some NBA conversations with the 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. As you heard Big Voice say, there it is. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Open today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, through the weekend. Make sure you include Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul as part of your New Year's plans. All right, Strick, back to the NBA. We just got done talking about Aaron Gordon's facial and shooting hand injuries thanks to a vicious dog of some sort. Not a whole lot of dog in the Detroit Pistons right now. Losers of 27 games in a row, the longest streak within a single season in NBA history. There's a lot going on there, but the reason we have to add the caveat of the longest losing streak in a single season is because the trust the process Philadelphia 76ers with Sam Hinkie in charge of them did lose 28 straight games across the 2014-15 and 2015-16 seasons, which was on purpose, right? They were tanking. They were kind of the architects of that process. The team that Detroit just passed, one Philadelphia team, again, that pre-process sort of team in 2013-14 lost 26 straight games. But then the team tied with them that lost 26 straight games was a team that lost LeBron James, the 2010-11 Cleveland Cavaliers. When LeBron makes that decision, Cleveland's kind of left floating out on an island, unsure of what to do or where to go. When you look at this Detroit team, Strick, it's just plain bad. They don't have a plan to tear it all down and build. This was their plan. They've done the whole tanking thing for a few years. Cade Cunningham's been solid, fine, but not elite, hasn't necessarily been surrounded by a lot of successful other draft picks in Detroit. So not only are they not tanking, they didn't lose some generational, all-time superstar like Cleveland did to lose its 26 games in a row. This Pistons team is just bad, and there's no real explanation, no simple explanation for it other than they're just not good.
Well, I think at worst that this Pistons team was looking at Cade Cunningham to be similar to maybe Devin Booker, to be able to do the things that Devin Booker was able to do in Phoenix. Obviously, Devin Booker can't do it by itself. He needs help. He needs a surrounding cast to do so. Mm-hmm. But it's clear, just for an example, there's some boneheaded situations and plays that happened in the last game that can kind of tell you where things are with this, right? For example, when you look at Bogdanovich, right? He played defense as if he was a stiff 50-year-old playing at the rec center, like Bach does, right? Then you have Jaden Ivey, and then obviously Cade Cunningham. Both of those individuals missed both free throws on trips to the line in the second half. Obviously, those were important free throws for that team in
a 6-point game.
In a 6-point game, right? And then James Wiseman's just doing what James Wiseman does. He's playing the way that he plays. But here's where it gets to a situation, right? So there's 3 different plays that happen where you can understand losing basketball and how this thing can snowball and why you end up losing a game like this. So, for example, you had it was Burks, right? Alex Burks. He's going up the court on a fast break, and he literally just tossed a pass at Isaiah Stewart's head, and boop, it popped him upside the head. Now, you'd much rather have him pop a 3 as opposed to popping his own player upside the head, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes up the court in one situation and literally clanks a 3-point shot, right? I'm sorry. No, forgive me. That's not the sequence. After that clanking on the head, it was a turnover. So then the Nets end up going up and down the court for a fast break. They toss it out for a 3. He shoots the 3. They miss it because of the lack of effort, right? Pathetic effort by the team of getting back, getting in position, and securing the rebound. It was rebounded by the Brooklyn Nets. And boom, that's that second 3-pointer that I talked about. It's not the first one, it's the second one. Bang for 3, right? That kills you, especially in the way that you lost the game, right?
So that's a 5-point swing right there.
Right. Then you have a situation where your guy, Cade Cunningham, is on fire, literally. I mean, if it was an old video game, I mean, he was on fire. He is going to work. And he has 35 points and only finishes with 41. He has 35 and a half, only finishes with 41. Now, check this out. So they run a play. Monty Williams calls a play because he's so freaking hot. Out of a timeout, Burks comes up and shoots up a contested 3, not even a good drive to the basket, kick out 3, a contested 3, clanks that, right? Took the play away from Cade Cunningham, the hot guy, which was drawn up by the coach. Doesn't happen. That's another play. Then lastly, this is something that could be on the not top 10 list. It would be similar to like if they were playing the Globetrotters and the Generals, right? This is the kind of foolishness that was going on, right? He throws a pass off of Ivey's head and into the same guy, Burks. Throws a pass off of Ivey's head, crucial time, and it goes into the courtside seats with just a few seconds remaining. There you go. So then you wonder and you ask the question, why is this team so bad? That's just the freaking snippet of what's been going on and why you end up losing games consistently over a period of time.
And that's just, 1 out of 27, but I'm sure if you went through all these games, you could find
there's something
like that.
Yeah.
From a guy that should be better. Alec Burks is not a superstar by any means, but he's a good, solid NBA role player who's been around the block that plenty of teams have trusted before, who, I don't know if he lost his way in Detroit, is trying to do more than he's capable of doing at the NBA level. I don't know, but that's an older guy that you don't expect to make those plays. If you told me it was Jaden Ivey throwing a pass off of Isaiah Stewart's head or throwing a pass off another teammate's head in the last possession, taking a contested 3, okay, he's still young, trying to make a name for himself. I'd buy that. Alec Burks making those mistakes is different, but you've seen Bogdanovich kind of fall off the map. You've seen Joe Harris go from being a great role player to a guy that I even forgot was completely on this roster. You see them lean into so many centers. Jalen Durant, Marvin Bagley is on this team. Isaiah Stewart should be a center, but he's playing a lot of 4. You look at James Wiseman, who they traded for from Golden State. The team construction doesn't make any sense really around Cade Cunningham, Strick, because I think Devin Booker is a good example of a guy that had to put up with a lot of mess down there in Phoenix for a long time, got rewarded with the trip to the finals with, of course, the coach of the Pistons, Monty Williams, but they built around Devin Booker and it all ended up being worth it. I think Cade Cunningham is in a Devin Booker position, but I think he's more of a Luka Doncic starter kit, right? He's 6'6", 220, can play the point, can play off the ball a little bit. I think Cade, needs the ball in his hands even more because for all the centers that Detroit has, they have a lot of ball-dominant guards. Ivy's not a good shooter off the ball. Hayes not a great shooter. Burke's not known for it, and they're not using Bogdanovich and Harris in those roles. So, to me, the model for Detroit to get out of this to some degree is build kind of like Dallas did around Luka. Get a dominant, rim-rolling, rim-protecting center, get some 3-and-D wings around Cade. But then we have to ask the Monty Williams question. He took a lot of responsibility for the 27-game losing streak. He says if he's not able to snap the guys out of it by this point, it's got to be on him. I have a hard time pinning all of this on Monty Williams, who I thought was going to be a really good addition to that locker room, would get them in some sets. I thought he was a better hire than Ime Udoka was, but we see that paying immediate dividends down in Houston, where Monty Williams is the second highest paid coach in the NBA, just not long off a finals appearance in Phoenix. And not even he can make something out of nothing with this Detroit bunch.
I'm going to throw this out here, but first and foremost, let me just get to Augie on the Sauter Heyman text line where he asked the question, do you guys think that Detroit is just pre-tanking for next year? I think they're just really bad. That second part of that, you answered your own question. It has nothing to do by pre-tanking. There's nothing that I believe that they would want to take, because I actually believe that they feel that they have the squad that they thought they could do some things with, a young squad, a good nucleus of young talent put together, and just build off of it from coaching from Monty Williams.
They did try tanking again last year for Victor Wembanyama, didn't get him, right? I mean, Cade Cunningham, they drafted in 2021, I want to say. Yeah, 2021. He's made the all-rookie team in 21-22. They tanked for Cade Williams. Draft pick from last year was the Ausar Thompson, who's super athletic, but hasn't really done anything at the NBA level. They've tried the tanking thing, so I don't think they're pre-tanking. As good as I think, like Cooper Flagg is going to be, or I guess at the top of this year's, you can't really tank at the top of this year's draft. It's not nearly as strong. If you can't pre-tank for next year, Cooper Flagg's good. I don't know if he's a no doubt number one, sell your franchise for him type of guy by any means. So if Detroit is pre-tanking now, I don't understand that. They should have been pre-tanking a couple of years ago to try to up their odds for a guy like Wembanyama.
Yeah, and so I'm going to throw this out because playing against Monty Williams over the years, just kind of watching his demeanor, I don't know this for sure, but I could just only speculate from the outside. Monty Williams, to me, is not alpha. He doesn't have an alpha personality about him, right? He's a go along to get along type of guy. He's what some would say is a great player type of coach because, he'll listen and kind of just succumb to maybe a lot of the stuff that maybe the players want. It's tough to do that when you have a young group, right? When you have a veteran crew, like for the most part, because here's what you can see. He's had that Phoenix squad, but nothing really came out of DeAndre Ayton. Right?
No, not for his whole tenure. Not really. No.
Nothing really came. As far as the veterans were concerned, love him. But wasn't able to get anything out of a young talent. Here's where you go and now place him in a place with a bunch of young talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's there in this position, trying to coach a bunch of young guys up, raise the bar for them, and not having that alpha mentality, still trying to be that go along to get along guy. Once it starts the cycle, you can't change it and turn into an alpha dog of demanding and wanting and making them take responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is different between him and Udoka. Udoka with a young group, but also a veteran group, was able to get the most out of his young guys. It helped to take them to another level as far as what was going on there. And you're also now starting to see it. So you can just kind of measure and see This is why I can only speculate. I look, like I said, we're not sitting in those meetings and in those film room sessions. We're not sitting in there, but I can only just look at, just as you did, the trends and try to figure out why this situation is the way it is in Detroit.
Well, let's get you out of speculation mode and take you back to where you mentioned in the happy hour crossover, the losing streaks that you were a part of. Strick, you were successful in high school. You're successful in college. You know what winning basketball looks like. What was it like for you to be in those locker rooms? Who did you rely on, as like veteran leadership as a younger player to keep showing up to work and to keep your head in it?
Well, I didn't really have that in Dallas early on because those guys really weren't that. They were still kind of young and early year feisty mentalities and just wanted to do their own thing. I don't know if it was really even a focus on winning at that time. You can see that later in Jason Kidd. You got to see the latter half of him was probably the better half of him, right? He had a great career, but most of the situation there was just a bunch of young guys like me and Samaki Walker just kind of getting together and just trying to stay close to each other and then hoping things would change. But that new group, once that new group came and it was, the Derek Harpers and the AC Greens, there's guys that, Derek had went to conference finals with the Dallas Mavericks in prior years and playing in those great run New York Knicks teams where they would battle the Chicago Bulls on a regular basis, right? So they understood what it took and what it required in practice and in games and in preparation and all of that. So you had those type of guys in the locker room. And then you add in guys that were young and hungry and wanted more or had chips on their shoulders, your Steve Nash's, your Michael Finley's, and guys that wanted to be great. Then a young Dirk who just stayed in the gym and you just knew he was going to be great. You had that. And so you could see that there was a light at the end of the tunnel for that group. And it's just guys like that. The AC Greens and the Derek Harpers are the ones that can help you to get through those rough and tumble times.
It doesn't seem like there's a guy like that on this Pistons roster right now. Otherwise, we think we would have heard of, a players only meeting, a closed door meeting led by, one of those veterans, whether it's a Bogdanovich, whether it's a Joe Harris, heck, even like Cade Cunningham. Strick, I know he's still a young player in this league, but the fact that we haven't heard about, again, don't know the young man, don't want to speak ill of him, but you would think that if he was tired of the losing and he wanted to be in Detroit and figure it out there, even in his youth, he would have called a meeting like that, really tried to take that step to become a leader of the franchise. He hasn't done it. Does Detroit need to blow it up and start over? Or do they just have to try to offload some of their young guys and bring in a tone setter veteran, even if they don't play much, just to try to get the locker room culture back on track?
Well, the sad thing on the landscape of today is they run veterans out because they don't keep veterans around, like their organizations that do, like your Miamis and the likes of those. Their organization, you know what I mean? They keep them around because they understand what veterans can do for a team, right? Mm-hmm. But Detroit, for some reason, I don't know. After Joe Dumars left, it just went to hell in a handbasket, and I just don't know how they're going to recover. I don't know if it's the headship, and usually it is the headship, because I will say that our losing mentality at Dallas was definitely headship until Mark Cuban came. You know what I mean? And then changed just the way that things were done, and it provided a better feeling in the locker room and the willingness to go out. But then the coach also was a piece of that. Don Nelson was one of the ones that just was the architect of that change. So yeah, man, it's just hard to say, but there's really no one there to definitely do that. You would hope Cade Cunningham would do that, but he doesn't seem to me to have that type of mentality in him. He's just no nonsense, go out and play type of guy.
I'm with you on that. Let's finish the segment with this on the text line here, Strike. It's from Doug, who said he feels that the draft has become bad due to tanking. What if the team's got a rookie salary cap and the lowest performing teams have the biggest pool, the better performing teams have the lowest pool? Rookies would get to choose who they sign for, and it would make the organizations be under pressure to look organized and become appealing for rookies.
Now I have to look deeper into that, but there has been a change to mitigate tanking. The NBA did do something to address it. I can't remember the exact language
it's the
on
draft
it.
lottery where they have the ping pong balls. You get a certain number of ping pong balls, and the teams 1 through 3 have the highest chance, 5 through 8 have the next chance, and then 9 through 14 have the lowest chance at getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and I know they addressed it. I don't know to what way, but I know that is a piece of it. Definitely the balls, but I like that. I just like innovative ways to keep teams honest and open. I like ways to keep things like the All-Star game interesting, because we see that the Pro Bowl and the things like that have just all went to hell in a handbasket. And just figure out ways to be creative in it. Figure out ways to get those teams to get energized and get into the mix and want to have success, as opposed to tanking, because it does a disservice to the game, to me.
I'm with you on that. You see why teams do it, because it makes the most business sense to do it. But then some teams just refuse to get out of their own way and stop tanking. They're hemorrhaging money, and it's kind of a stain on the league. I would love to use this time to transition into what Major League Baseball did and how that encouraged my beloved Kansas City Royals to go out and commit hundreds of millions of dollars here in free agency. But we got to take a break. Plenty of college football to talk about. We got some bowl games. And I think there's just an interesting little juxtaposition, a dichotomy, if you will, between the teams playing these bowl games. It seems like the 4 games today all have a team that wants to be there, that's excited, and a team that had more in its mind. They might be disappointed to be in the bowl game that's in. We'll run through those bowl matchups, and then make sure you stay tuned later in the week. Tomorrow, we will go through tomorrow and Friday's bowl games. And then, of course, on Friday, we'll take a look at the New Year's 6 games, including the college football playoff. But today's bowl games, the juxtaposition, the change in mindset between the two teams, and more next on the block.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-week challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
happy holidays from Hamilton. As we celebrate the joy of this holiday season, we are grateful for our loyal customers, the communities we serve, and our outstanding employees. Hamilton takes great pride in connecting and protecting your business with the latest in telecommunications and technology solutions. From our Hamilton family to yours, we wish you a merry and bright holiday season and prosperous new year. Happy holidays from all of us here at Hamilton.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your weekly forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies. It'll be a little breezy at times. Otherwise, we'll see a high around 33. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies continuing. We'll see a low around 19. Tomorrow, probably sunny skies do return. We'll see an afternoon high a little warmer, around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling through hour two of On the Block, Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you here. We turn our eyes to bowl season. We got one on the TV in here right now. We're watching the Military Bowl. It is Virginia Tech and Tulane. It's a 27-17 Hokies lead right now. Here at the end of the third quarter, Tulane is lining up to kick a field goal. Looks like they will have some time to make a decision on whether or not to go for it. They are inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5-yard line, I think. A short field goal for the Green Wave. Again, down 2 scores. But Strick, this game, and I think the other 3 games today, really illustrate the highs and the lows, the excitement and the non-interest, really, in bowl season, depending on which team you are. As I look at this matchup, I think of our guys Nate Brennan and Andrew Alex, excited that Virginia Tech's back in a bowl game. Haven't been there as consistently as they were under Frank Beamer, making the climb back up under Coach Pry. So they're fighting for bowl eligibility all year. They get to 6-6. They get a bowl appearance. On the other sideline, you have Tulane, who was last year's bowl season darling. They go into the Cotton Bowl, have the big comeback to beat Caleb Williams and USC. They come into this year pretty well thought of with the quarterback returning. Willie Fritz is a hot name in the coaching ranks, and that kind of came back to bite them. Now they go 11-1 in the regular season, lose a tight game to Ole Miss is all in the regular season before ultimately falling to SMU in the American Athletic Conference Championship game, which knocks them out of contention for the New Year's 6 spot for the Group of 5 team. And then after that, you have Michael Pratt, the quarterback, enter the transfer portal. And you have Willie Fritz, the head coach, leave for Houston. I don't know what motivation Tulane, had to be there to play. And again, I don't want to speak for all the players on the team, but just in a very general team sense, it seems like Virginia Tech, had a lot more to play for today than Tulane, who gets knocked down to some, early afternoon bowl game on a Wednesday that not very many people are watching. And I think that's just a great kind of encapsulation of the highs and the lows of college football bowl season anymore.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, and I think this is it in some form becomes become disinterested, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably would look at having more to play for if you had a college playoff of 12 teams, as they're going to be going to. I think that makes everybody a little bit more interested. I think the bowl games will still be relevant for those that don't make it. It'll be relevant to them. Maybe somebody that wants to raise their stock a little bit, or somebody that just wants to go out on top. It'll give them an opportunity, young players, to maybe get an opportunity to play a little bit more that they didn't get a chance to, because who was in front of them was a star for the team. So I think there's benefits from that standpoint of it. But you're right. I think there's some disinterest in some of it. Whether it means something, it probably means something to some of the fans that are really care about the program, so to speak. But other than that, man, I've looked at them and I've watched them, but I haven't just stayed on them like I would normally. I probably would say I stayed on these games with more interest during the season as opposed to even right now in the bowl season. I mean, there's really nobody that I care too much about out there. The games and the matchups sometimes are okay. It just seems like it's another game for me. So there are some that I want to put my eyes on, though, that I'm looking forward to as we continue to slide towards New Year's.
Right. And we'll definitely talk more about those in the next couple days. There's some really interesting matchups that we'll dive into. But the other three matchups today, the next game on tap is the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's North Carolina versus West Virginia. West Virginia head coach Neil Brown was thought to be as good as gone, one of the hottest seats in college football, but he gets the Mountaineers to a bowl game. Contrast that with Mack Brown, started at Carolina, went to Texas, came back to Carolina. First coach to win 100 games at the FBS level with two different schools. But Strick, this was a dark horse playoff contender, especially early on. A team that showed a little bit of bite on defense to pair with their potential number one overall draft pick in Heisman hopeful before the year in Drake May, a high-powered offense. Despite losing Phil Longo, they had plenty of weapons back. But again, you look at West Virginia, had a better year than people expected them to. Probably happy to have made a bowl game. Carolina, probably not where they thought they'd end up. You look at Texas A&M. Strick has 55 scholarship players available for this bowl game, the Texas Bowl, the nightcap tonight, against Oklahoma State, who at one point lost to South Alabama. Now Oklahoma State's rated in the top 20, made a run at the Big 12 and making it to the Big 12 championship game. Maybe that's not the best example, but I still think there's more motivation for Oklahoma State than Texas A&M. But I think the ultimate example of the motivated team versus the disinterested team is in the 7 o'clock game here tonight, the Holiday Bowl, and that's Louisville versus USC. Louisville came out of nowhere. They hired Jeff Brom away from Purdue after, a couple dalliances in years past. He finally comes home and he engineers a double-digit win turnaround. They go from down in the dumps to winning double-digit games, make that appearance in the ACC championship game, lose to Florida State. But that was a really successful year one for Jeff Brom. Found plenty of pieces to work with for the future. And the Holiday Bowl is still a solid bowl for a program that I'm sure would have taken anything. You contrast that with USC, reigning Heisman winners, skill talent for days. You thought they would, maybe take a half step up, enough of a step up on defense with some transfers that they got over the offseason to plug enough holes on the defensive side to be able to make a run at the playoff. Instead, they slide not just to single-digit wins, not just to 9-3, all the way down to 7-5. Don't make the Pac-12 championship game. Caleb Williams, maybe not the problem, but less the solution this year than last year. And now Lincoln Riley seems like he's on the hot seat. So I think that Louisville USC game coming up tonight is, again, maybe that best example of one team that is more than happy to be there and is putting a lot into bowl prep, and a team that just wants the season to be done.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You hate to see that happen. This is why I think the emotions and sometimes the feelings that it's tough to go through a roller coaster ride of emotions and the success that you've had throughout your tenure, and then to go out like this on the end. It's tough for Caleb Williams. Obviously Drake May came off like a bang. Still, a lot of people love and want him and think he has a great professional career ahead of him. But I think this is just a great pre-showcase for him, just to go out and continue to keep his stock high. Then when you look down again at Texas A&M, I mean, it's just been a blunder, a cluster, over the last few years with them. And as we continue in this segment, I mean, I think there's some discussions to be had with regards to it. I mean, I know we talked about some great expectations and some disappointments in some of those teams and what they look like. And, if you want to delve into that, we can. But at this point, I mean, you just want to see whatever guys that are hungry and want to get after it. It's definitely tough for a Tulane team to lose all that they're losing with their coach and players not playing and sitting out, or guys in the transfer portal, because you've consistently seen those guys be out there and performing, and you have an expectation for those guys to be out there and perform, and now all of a sudden they're not there. So now you got to rely on guys. And I mean, you're seeing second, third string quarterbacks going out there, but look, they're getting a chance. I mean, there's quarterbacks out there that are getting their first start in a freaking bowl game. That's crazy to think of, but hey, what better experience are you going to get than going to that high stakes of a game, at the end of the season? So we'll see. Again, that's preparation and that's preparation and being ready, man. You've got to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves. You never know what can come from it.
Right, which is why I'm still kind of surprised that Tate Rodemaker of Florida State entered the transfer portal. Like, yeah, Georgia's still really good, but imagine how much higher his stock would be if he went out and balled out against Georgia. Cubsker on the text line says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon to you, Cubsker. My way of looking at it is it's 15 more practices. That's all Husker Nation has been asking for since 2016. I can understand the frustration of not being bound for New Year's Day Bowl, but it's still more than some colleges can say." Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, I think the coaches are, I'm sure, more excited about the 15 practices of development than most of the players are. But at the end of the day, Strick, any of these bowl games and any of those 15 practices are what each person makes it, right? I'm sure there are plenty of guys on all these teams who are approaching it with the right attitude of 15 more chances to get better before a game that I get a ball out in. I'm excited for the opportunity to have a 13th or 14th game. Why would I not, compete my butt off over these next few weeks? But you hope those guys outnumber the ones who are just playing out the string, ready to be done and opt out. But that's such a team by team basis, first of all, but then an individual by individual basis.
Yeah. I mean, you made a statement that really is rhetorical, because it's not one that I really can answer, because that's it. I mean, it comes down to your individual decision, and then, how you feel about it, what you think about a bowl game. Do you care about a bowl game? Does it make sense to raise my stock in doing this? I mean, there's so many things that can play out, but then this is the thing. You got 70 something players. What, 75 is it? 75 players on a roster?
Travel roster. Yeah.
Yeah. 75. So you've got 75 players that are not necessarily all thinking collectively. They're all thinking about betterment of whatever their careers may be afforded to them. This is why you probably see a whole bunch of people jump in the transfer portal. You see maybe a lot of guys that were frustrated and they just couldn't wait for themselves to get out of there once, they broke semester and did their finals, and they're looking for the next best opportunity for them. So it's just hard to say, man, because that does weigh into it a lot. It's not necessarily a game that I'm sure coaches want to play or thought they would be playing probably just in the last 5 years. They probably thought, hey, these are my guys, and this is why you have the words that came from gosh darn it, we just talked about him, where he's basically said, I don't have no emotional ties. Who was the coach that said that?
Loxley.
Loxley about
Maryland.
baby Tua.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is where you get that from because, but here's the thing. Did you really have a tie to him? Because I'm sure Mike Loxley, if Miami called you and was like, hey, we want you down here, would you have any heart? I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. Yeah.
Makes sense. Let's take a break. Let's welcome in Jay Foreman here for the crossover. Get you set up for old school wrap up on the block here in just a minute.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
New career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bearschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bearschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apple, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Old School with DP and J.
We got a special guest in. We got Jason Peters.
All that's being asked of you is everything. Like, you have to give everything that you have to that program, to that team. If you want to be a champion, that's the only way, right? I mean, you have to commit to every lifting session, every strength and conditioning session, during the summer, during the spring, whatever it may be. It just has to be 100% commitment by everybody.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with you, joined now by Jay Foreman. Strick and I just got done talking about some of today's bowl games. Might get back to that in just a sec. Strick, were you paying attention at all to the Kansas UNLV game last night?
I did see some of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I did see some of it. Yeah.
Well,
what about
UNLV, 9 penalties for 99 yards. That's a lot.
That's
just
crazy.
kidding. Kansas, 18 penalties, 216 yards with a certified bar brawl at the end. What a game out in Chase Field in Phoenix.
Hey, Strick, they like the modern day Oakland Raiders from back in the day.
Oh, I know, right?
Up, beat you up, and then they gonna still beat you, man. Kansas, I didn't know Kansas had it in him like that, man.
It's definitely not the Kansas you knew.
No. You know the thing about it though, Strick. I don't know how much you've watched Kansas, but when you watch them play, they're a different Kansas. They're a football team, and they got some speed, they got some swag, they got some receivers, they got a quarterback that knows how to play in their system. Really good running back, one of the top 4 or 5 running backs in the league or in the college football today. Lance Leopold has done a really good job.
Yeah. I mean, there was talk about trying to go get him, but, shout out to Kansas for, re-upping him and keeping him there and for his willingness to stay. And here's, if I'm Leopold, man, I mean, for me, Jay and Austin, I'm always looking for how can I become the Mark Few of wherever I'm at?
Yeah.
Like with Texas and Oklahoma bailing, why would I not want to just take this thing over and run with it if I'm Kansas at this point, right? Yeah, everybody's talking about basketball, but why would I not want to just go ahead and turn this thing on top of his head and just blow the doors off everything Big 12?
Yeah, it's interesting that comparison though, Strick, because it has the same potential, and you can kind of be under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what would be comparable in an NBA job. Maybe Pop when he took over San Antonio. Obviously, you got to draft well, and you got 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. But sometimes being in those smaller markets where you can kind of have success, not the pressure to win, a Big 12 championship, but continue to kind of add things and then hit a couple home runs on drafts.
Minnesota?
Maybe Minnesota. I was going to say that.
Or if you're Braun, if you're Braun out in Louisville,
yeah, same thing, same places where you could every 3, 4, 5 years, you pop your head up in there and maybe get in the college football playoffs since there's 12 teams. And then, you're always consistently a winner, a big time winner in the sense of, 8, 7 to 10 games. Then you might pop an 11 in there. Then you have a real magical season. There's no reason for you to, to look for other places because you're the biggest fish in the biggest pond according to where you're at. And then also sometimes when you start to win, all that stuff that you would maybe think you need at another place comes with winning, comes with actually strict. And I want you to comment on this is the consistency of a product, right? And I think that's one of the things. And you played against the Spurs, right? And so you knew once you started to touch down in San Antonio, what you were going to, no matter where you played at, you knew exactly. It could be me and Austin on that roster. You know exactly what you were going to get, consistency. And that's how San Antonio, I think, has built a franchise and a fan base. But I want your commentary on that because I think it's something when you look at a Kansas, even a Louisville or places like that, even like a Duke, if you can get another coach, talk about that, Strick, because I think that's something that maybe you might see coaches look for more in the future so they can get some longevity.
Well, when you were talking about what you were saying, Jay, I was thinking about Pat Fitzgerald up at Northwestern.
Yeah,
that was a blueprint right there, right? Every 3-4 years, pop your head up and at the top of the Big Ten, and then you fall off the map, but you're at a place where you can, validate as to why the situation is the way. And then you can put pressure on the powers that be there that are making the decisions because a lot of it has to do with doggone entrance situation, right? So you're like, hey, what you want me to do? You can have those type of conversations. But yeah, man, there's something to say about consistency, especially from top to bottom. Whenever you go and you sit down with management or upper management and you have discussions that the messaging is very clear and concise across the board, right? Then when you're on the field or on the floor, you're feeling the same way. So that way it allows you to settle in and have a calmness about you because you know the type of game that you're going to play. But the other team that I would say was very much like that outside of Chicago was Utah. Utah was one of those teams where no matter what, when you showed up, you knew exactly what it was going to be. It was going to be tough. It was going to be bang out. It was going to be gripping, grabbing, tugging, all of that. You knew what you was going to be getting into. And so those things are important. Now, some of that goes alongside with the coach. Wherever the coach may go, this is where you'll start to see some of those consistencies. Not even that they're at the place that like when George Karl was at Seattle, you knew when George Karl moved on and where he was at, you knew it was going to be a very similar style. Right. Same thing with he was in Phoenix for a long time and D'Antoni, exactly, what you got. You know what you got. You know what you're gonna be facing. We ain't playing no D. We just running and gunning. You know what I'm saying? So
or Pat Riley,
those things do matter.
You knew exactly what Pat Riley when he left the Knicks. Phil Jackson, you coming right down to the Heat, and you getting body checked, and you better be in shape. Hey, Strick, let me ask you.
And you better be in shape.
Pause 10 seconds. We got pause, ID. Strick. Hey, Strick, pause. I got him.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Perth 93.7 The Ticket.
If Strick's pause, I'm play.
Okay, I got
this. What we doing? This what we doing in the new year, Jay?
We flipping on you, man. Hey, Strick, let me ask you this, man. Back when you were playing, and I remember hearing him listening to Jermaine O'Neal. It was about the Malice in the Palace, and then he was talking about how him and he was mad at Ron Artest for a long time, like personally, and because Ron Artest kind of between me sold him out, right, and just dipped, right. But then he talked about when he became a free agent and he was almost going to the Miami Heat, and Jermaine O'Neal always seemed like it looked to me like he was in shape, but some of the things that Pat Riley was demanding and there was non-negotiables He's like, I'm not going there. I want to ask you, Strick, and say like, towards the end of your career, would you have backed away from going to a place like Miami, knowing the type of physical demands that he would be putting upon you just to get through training camp? It seems like their training camp was like Bobby Knight-ish. What would you do?
No, listen, low key, a lot of people don't know that, but I actually went into some workouts for the Miami Heat. And two things hindered me. I was coming off an injury when I got down there. So that hurt me, and it was towards the tail end of my career. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't ready
for that.
And I'm a guy that's I wasn't ready, bro. I was hurt.
Right.
I was broken down. I was mad that I wasn't even in half of the shape that I needed to be in for what was going on down there. So I ain't gonna lie. As much as I like, the Florida sun, I went up there to Milwaukee. I made I had a choice. I went up there to Milwaukee. Shoot.
That's good. I always wonder about that because even Shaq had an issue with him, and they'd won a world championship, and him and Pat Riley butted heads, and then he got traded like 48 hours later. Then the rest is history. So I always wanted to ask you about that, Strick, and I was watching some stuff on Jermaine O'Neal, Malice in the Palace stuff. I wanted to get your opinion on that because I knew how hard Strick worked and how type of player he was, which fit Pat Riley. But once you get later in your career, man, guys be like, nah, I ain't with that.
That's a fact.
Right.
That's
a
fact. I mean, look, Jay, shoot, bro. I would say that's when I knew. That's when I knew my time was up because I didn't have the desire or the passion to go through training camp anymore. I didn't want that smoke. One of the best times of my life, Jay and Austin, was when I was with Boston and I was stuck. This is a story. I don't think I've shared this. This is a story where I had opted out of Vancouver. I'm down in LA because I moved to LA just to kind of assess if I wanted to live in California or not. And I stayed there and worked out. So me and Cedric, and we always stayed and worked out. And UCLA was one of the best places to train because all the players was there. We was getting it in. It was good bump, right? So I'm down there, and then everybody's kind of going off into camp and stuff. And so Magic Johnson at one of the local gyms, I think it was like an LA Fitness or something, and we would get together and get some bump. And so Magic and all of us and some old heads and some guys that were still in college or whatever, we get that bump. And I missed training camp. I'm sitting in there getting this bump. One agent, or it was a player. He was talking to his agent and he was like, yeah, who's down there running with you? And they was like, yeah, such Erick Strickland. Like, Strick, what's Strick doing down there? He ain't in camp. And he was like, nah. And so he put me on the phone. He was like, yo, man, what's going on? Why you ain't in camp? His name was Raymond Brothers. And Raymond Brothers was he was the agent for Jamal Tinsley and whatnot at that time. And so Raymond was like, yo, what's going on? I was like, yeah, man, my agent was saying blah, blah, blah. And, these teams wanted me in there, but I'm still here. I'm waiting. He's like, hold the phone, man. Hold on for a second. He called. He says, I'll get back to you in 30 minutes. He called back in 30 minutes. He's like, Boston wants you right now. I said, what? Now this is after camp. He's like, Boston wants you like right now. They want you right now. He's like, but what you got to do, you got to fire your agent and then you got to hire me. And literally, I got on the phone, called the agent, and he was like, this is why dealing with agents is important, man. Dealing with this NIL. I'm saying this to coach y'all. If y'all got kids or whatever, you gotta make sure that the messaging that's coming back to you is authentic and real. And there's no genders behind it. They can screw you. Career, man. Yeah. So the agent was like, yeah, Strick, I already talked to them. I mean, I'm like, well, ain't nothing happening, my boy. Like you talking, but ain't nothing. You talking loud and ain't saying nothing. So at the end of the day, I fired him, got Raymond. Boom, I was on my way to Boston. I ended up I think I came in the second game. I missed all the training camp, but I was still ready to go, baby. Still ready to go.
That's great, man. I mean, Strick dropped a good nugget there about the agents and stuff like that, and that it's gonna come to fruition. I think, Strick, and you can tell me right or wrong. As we get in I'm going to tell you this: as we get another year or two into NIL, you're going to start hearing some of the stories that you're talking about, right? And here's why I say like this, and correct me if I'm wrong. And in basketball as well, you're going to have these guys that are your agents supposed to be negotiating these deals. And what agents will do sometimes, and I don't know if this ever happened in basketball, is, and I can see this happening in college kids, and having a deal worked out with the school or the coach, right? Indirectly or however, they magically might run into each other at Hy-Vee and say, listen, I'm going to get this kid there for this price, right? Say it's $100,000 or $200,000. But then, but he's going to tell Strick, the player, I got you 300. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get maybe that 200. You're going to be looking around saying, where's that 300?
The 100.
And then, right, the other 100. And next thing you know, you're going to find out a year or two later, it was 200 the whole time. I'm telling you, mark my words, because that's what I think happened with the kid that left Florida. That's at Arizona State. Somehow, some way, those numbers can't get fabricated that much to where you fly all the way across the country, get there, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, that was not what we said. So I think that's going to happen in the future, man. And that's a Strick drop the dime right there. You got to make sure you have an agent that's going to keep it real with you, even when the news is bad news.
Yep. Jay, you hit the nail on the head, Jay. Yeah,
because sometimes, like you said, he said, yeah, we're talking. Well, you know what? They probably weren't. He wasn't talking. He was waiting to get a call. Then you got somebody aggressive. 30 minutes, you got a job. Well, you know what?
Come on, somebody.
What that tells you, if he would have been doing that 3 months ago, then you not only had a job, you would have had a guaranteed contract and been there. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I mean, if you just, so interesting stuff, man. That's crazy.
Stricky, appreciate you. Do it again tomorrow. Good stuff, my guy.
Yes, sir.
We'll down for you, Strick.
We will.
Hold it down, Jay. Let me know how it tastes, my boy.
I got you, man.
We'll raise a glass to you, Stricky. Talk to you tomorrow. Stay tuned, though, here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got Old School coming up next with Jay Foreman. For Strick, I'm Austin. It's been a blast. Old School on the other side.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Coppell is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group are Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bärischen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich